Are you a fan of the talented actress Jenna Ortega? If so, you've probably wondered what her best movies and TV shows are. Well, wonder no more. Jenna Ortega is an up-and-coming actress who has already made her mark in Hollywood with her memorable performances in various movies and television shows. We've compiled a list of Jenna's top-rated movies according to IMDb ratings. Keep watching to see what makes our list. Now, to start off with the list of Jenna Ortega's best movies. You should get used to hearing Jenna Ortega's name, since the excellent young actress is beginning to appear in every movie. Despite being just 20 years old, Ortega has already made an impression in several films and television series, and 2022 is already all about her. She has featured in a film on HBO Max, a new part of a legendary series, and 2 more horror films that are on the way. Ortega is the new film queen of the day in many aspects. While her career is still in its early stages, she has some high-rated parts on IMDb. Jenna Ortega's emergence as a Hollywood celebrity has been accelerated by the recent release of Wednesday on Netflix. In reality, she has given multiple outstanding performances throughout 2022, with Wednesday being the cherry on top. Despite her age, her career has already been extensive, as seen by the ratings her work has received on IMDb. Notably, TV shows and films with merely a few IMDb ratings are eliminated. Yesterday on Netflix stars Jenna Ortega as Katie Torres. Jenna Ortega appeared in a couple of Netflix originals during her meteoric rise to stature. Yesterday, a family-friendly comedy based on a children's book of the same name, was one of them. The plot revolves around a family on a day when the parents say yes to practically everything their children desire, resulting in bizarre events. While the reviews were divided, most reviewers praised Ortega's portrayal as Katie Torres, the family's daughter. Next is Studio 666. Jenna Ortega has evolved into a modern-day scream queen. In 2022, she appeared in 3 different horror films, one of which was Studio 666. Unlike her previous 2022 horror films, this one has a comic touch to it. The Foo Fighters play as themselves in the horror thriller as they relocate into a spooky house to make a new album. Ortega plays Sky Willow, a percussionist with a special affinity for the home. She has a minor part, but she makes the most of it. Also, The Babysitter Killer Queen, released in 2020. Jenna Ortega surprised fans in The Babysitter Killer Queen before striking out with her 2022 horror performances. The sequel to McGee's 2017 film merely adds to the crazy slasher qualities of the first. While the original film's protagonist, Cole, was primarily on his own, this time he received support from Ortega's Phoebe Atwell, a new student at his school. Again, the reviews weren't exactly glowing, but Ortega stood out. Scream, the 6th installment in the slasher genre to get consistently positive reviews, is another recent addition to Jenna Ortega's filmography. Scream reunites the first film's primary 3 as a new Ghostface impersonator emerges to hunt down anyone with family ties to those from the franchise's past. Tara, played by Ortega, defies the series' precedent of being the first victim in the opening scene by surviving and continuing to play a role despite her sister being the major final girl. She will reprise her role in the forthcoming sequel to Scream 6. Next on the list is Elena of Avalor. It's always nice to come across an animated TV show that has a courageous female protagonist. That's the case with a Disney Channel movie, Elena of Avalor, which is about a princess who must defend her realm from an evil witch. The main heroine was played by Amy Carrero, while Jenna Ortega played Princess Isabel, her younger sister, who happens to be a genius inventor. The series was well received in many ways, including the fact that it included guest voice actors like Mark Hamill and won many Emmy Awards. The Insidious series is one of the most remarkable in the horror film genre. The majority of the entries received positive reviews, including the sequel to the 2010 premiere, Insidious Chapter 2. The film reunited the majority of the original cast, including Patrick Wilson and Rose Byrne. The presence of horror expert James Wan in the director's chair adds to the series' appeal. While this was deemed inferior to the original owing Owing to a lack of surprises, it nevertheless mainly functioned. Jenna Ortega was still very little when the movie premiered, and she had a minor part as Annie. And then we have X, released in 2022. X has set a rating limit for the 3 horror films starring Jenna Ortega in 2022. This is an original film directed by Ty West that pays tribute to classic slashers, notably the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The narrative revolves around a group of people who rented a house in rural Texas to film an adult film, only to be assaulted by the property's owner. Jenna Ortega impresses as Lorraine Day, a modest girl who helps her boyfriend create the film before opting to appear in it. Ortega gives a terrifying portrayal and a horror film scream for the ages. Also on the list is Rake. Rake aired on Fox in 2014, headed by the usually reliable Greg Kinnear as the protagonist, Keegan Dean. He's a self-destructive criminal defense attorney who causes problems for everyone around him, including his ex-wife, Bookie, the IRS, and others. The show is an adaptation of a popular Australian television series. This version only lasted 13 episodes before being discontinued, while the previous version lasted 40. Jenna Ortega appeared as Zoe Leon, the daughter of Ben, Keegan's closest friend, and Scarlett, who is a Los Angeles ADA. Next is The Fallout, released in 2021. The Fallout is the film to see if you want to get a true sense of Jenna Ortega's skill as an actress. It debuted at South by Southwest in 2021, before premiering on HBO Max in early 2022, earning praise for the performances and debut writer/director Megan Park. The plot revolves around 2 adolescent girls who create a sad friendship after hiding in the restroom together after a school shooting. Ortega and Maddie Ziegler both provide painful performances, and the film is wonderful yet difficult to see numerous times because of the overall sadness. Next up, Iron Man 3. Jenna Ortega's involvement in the MCU will likely come as a surprise. Of course, that's because it was a small role from so long ago that she may one day get a whole new role in the series, and no one would know the difference. Ortega appeared in Iron Man 3, the concluding installment of the legendary trilogy based on Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark. She played the Vice President's daughter, one of many individuals Tony Stark has to rescue. Critics liked the picture, although some fans didn't appreciate how it differed from the original material. Also, Big City Greens. Jenna Ortega has made it known that voice acting is something she enjoys doing. Big City Greens, another Disney Channel animated series, is one of her greatest yet underappreciated appearances. The plot revolves around a family that loses their farm and is forced to relocate to a smaller one in the heart of a metropolis. Ortega provides the voice of Gabriella, the rowdy girlfriend of the protagonist's family's son, Cricket. And the next is Jurassic World: Camp Cretaceous. Jenna Ortega provided voice acting in Jurassic World: Camp Cretaceous. The show is an animated continuation of the iconic Jurassic Park franchise, aimed at children, that follows a group of teenagers who become stranded on an island after dinosaurs escape. Many of the show's adult characters are voiced by actors such as Stephanie Beatriz and Jamila Jamil, while Ortega plays Brooklyn, one of the main characters. Despite the fact that the show only debuted in 2020, it has already had 4 seasons and won both an Annie and an Emmy Award. And we also have the Netflix show You. Jenna Ortega is most known for her performance on You. The series debuted on Lifetime, but struggled there until it found new life when it moved to Netflix, which became one of the streaming giant's most popular programs and received different seasons. Ortega first appeared on the program in season 2 as Ellie Alves, Joe's scary serial killer neighbor, and they created an unusual relationship with Ellie's sister Delilah. Season 2 was undoubtedly the best reviewed season of the program, and it helped propel Ortega to stardom. Next is Jane the Virgin, aired from 2014 to 2019. Jenna Ortega plays the role of young Jane in Jane the Virgin. When you consider that Jane the Virgin had 100 episodes, you would conclude that someone featured in less than 30 didn't play a significant significant role. Jenna Ortega's appearance in the famous drama, on the other hand, is crucial to the plot. Ortega appeared as the younger version of Jane throughout the episode, and she did it more than any other actor who played the character in major flashback scenes throughout time. During its run, Jane the Virgin received several honors and established Gina Rodriguez as a household celebrity. And also, Wednesday, released 2022. Jenna Ortega stole the show as a supporting character in various movies and TV episodes, before landing a huge lead part in Wednesday and nailing it. Ortega, who plays the main heroine, has won acclaim for her portrayal. Furthermore, Tim Burton's interpretation of the Addams Family character has been well received. It successfully blends the spooky and the comedic, all while being anchored by Ortega, who nails every mannerism and plays well off her co-stars. Clearly, Jenna Ortega has made a name for herself in the acting world, and IMDb's ratings of her movies and TV shows reflect that. What is your favorite Jenna Ortega movie or TV show? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content about Jenna Ortega and other amazing actors and actresses.